process, then you open file. You click on open file. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, open file. So you look for where your WCAD is installed. You click on that directory. It will show you data directory. Open the data directory, and then let's choose the same data that we chose 2 weeks ago, iris data. And you click it, it will show you this. Are we all here? Okay, let's wait for Professor Fires. It's not yet there.
Where is the particular program for you?
Even if you are not there, I can show you what I want to show you on my computer. I just want you to see it yourself.
Yeah, because I want to see how it works. Yeah.
I just want to show them something about recall, precision, and bulk. That's what I want to show now. I'm not going to deep learning. Okay, are you here now? Okay. Now click on classify. You see this second button at the top? Classify. Just click it. Don't do anything. Just click it. Okay. Once you click it, it will automatically load a classifier for you. 0R. Okay? So don't change it. Leave it at that. Click the start button. Click the start button. Okay? Click the start button. It will use that classifier 0R to classify that data. So that's what I want to talk about. So let me see if I can make this window bigger. Okay? So you should get the same thing that I have there. So let's interpret it. Now, if you look at the top here, correctly classified instances, 50, 33.3%. Incorrectly classified instances, 100, 66.6%. Okay? Now, look at the statistics. You know, I talked to you about Kappa. Look at that. What did he generate for you?
0.
What does that mean? It means your classification is not better than randomly generated model. In other words, your classification sucks. That's what it says. It's bad. It's bad. So the kappa is 0. Okay? So what it's telling you is that what you have done, the module that you have trained and use it to test that data is not anything better than any randomly generated result. That's what it says. Okay?
What data are you using?
Iris, we are using Iris data. And we are using actually cross-validation. Okay? So, now another thing I want to show you is this. We are talking about recall and precision. This is recall. Can you see that? This is precision. Look at the recall. The recall is 1. It tells you that recall is very good, but the prediction is not good. Are you following the argument? The recall says, the recall based on the calculation is good, but the prediction is not good. But the precision is telling you more. It's giving you 0.33, which means it's tending towards 0, other than tending towards 1. So the precision, so far as this data is concerned, the precision is more important. It's the one that tells you whether your prediction is actually good or bad. And that link with the rock, look at the rock. The rock is 0.5. And what that is telling you is that, again, your prediction is not anything better than randomly generated prediction. It's not telling you how far it is, how worse it is compared to randomly generated, but it's just saying it's not better than randomly generated. Okay? Now, there's another thing I want you to see. Right click on this. You right click on that. You right click on that. Okay? It will open a window for you. Now my computer is frozen. I hope your own computer is not frozen. Okay? You open it, then go down to visualize threshold curve. Are you there? Click on the first one, iris setosa. It will give you the rock. Now, even if you don't like mathematics, you don't know the meaning of this graph, you can as well look at the top here. Okay? Excuse me. We talk about cost, sensitivity to cost. Okay? Now, if you look at this, it means that in terms of cost, this particular prediction is actually costly. That is, the cost is not minimized. The benefit is not optimized. It's one-to-one. If I take that, I map it. Okay? In other words, if I spend R1,000,000, all that I get back is R1,000,000 that I spent. Nothing on top. Are you getting the point? You invest R1,000,000, and after a period of time, you check your investment, all you have back there is still R1,000,000. You haven't gotten anything on top. This is what it's telling you. So it means that the cost is not cost effective because there is no benefit at all. It's what you put in that you get back. And we can actually look at that. Go back to the same, close that phone. Right click again on the same thing as before. Now your computer should be better than mine. My memory is low, so it may be misbehaving. Okay, so look at the last thing, visualize cost curve. Can you see that? Click the first one. Okay, let me erase what I put here. Ask me a question. So if you look at the cost, okay? Now, when you look at the top here, probability cost function by normalized standard cost, okay? You put in that much, over time, it's supposed to generate something for you, but instead of that, it actually consumes everything you put in until you get to zero without giving you anything on top. That's what it means when you have a curve like that. So in terms of cost relationship, this is not an effective cost, which means the classifier that you use is not actually cost sensitive. It's not cost sensitive. That's the interpretation in plain language. It's not cost sensitive. Okay? So let's do something. The same data now. Let's now go back. You know, we use 0R here. Click on choose. Open choose. Okay? Let's choose another classifier within the same class. Choose decision table. Choose decision table. Okay? And then click start. So now we have a different result. Okay? You should get the same result as mine because we are using the same data. Now, on top, correctly classify 139, 92.66%. Incorrectly classify 11, 7.33. Now look at the kappa. Look at it. Here.
What did you find it?
Position 2.
You see? 0.89. So it's telling you that this classifier is better than the previous one and is cost sensitive so far as the data is concerned. Okay? Now if we come down, look at the recall. Recall is still 1. It doesn't change. But look at precision. It has changed. Okay? So far as this data is concerned, the most important factor here is the precision, not the recall. It's the precision. Okay? And then if you map that to ROC, you can see that. And if we did the same thing that we do the same thing that we did before, let's right click on that and check and visualize the threshold curve for the first Setosa. Look at the curve. It's a perfect fit. Although it's not perfect, let me show you how you can go to the jitter, move the jitter, you will see the true nature of the curve. You see, that's actually the curve. If you move the jitter a little bit to the middle. Now there's a science behind jitter also, but I don't think we have time to go into that. So it shows you the nuances depending on the threshold that is set, and then you can move it around. So that's it, but you can see that this curve is better than before. Approximately is 1. Approximately is 1. But at different points in time, there are times that is below 1. Okay, there are times that is below 1. But when you take the approximation, you smooth out the curve, it's approximately perfect. 1. Okay? So that's what we mean by cost evaluation. We can close that window. We go back again, we right click on that. We want to see the cost something. So I'll wait for my computer to wake up, okay? Visualize the cost curve, choose the same thing as before. Now, you can see that this is different. Remember, what we saw before was a single cost line that comes down, okay? A single cost. But now, it gives you a different approximation. So, the classifier that we use generated this different cost. The previous classifier, 0R, generated only one cost and used it for the calculation. Okay? But the decision table that we use generated different cost. Okay? It's a tree structure. And then it will now look for the best cost, which of course will be at the bottom somewhere here. I use one of these 3 in terms of its function for calculating, for doing the prediction. So that's the difference between a classifier that is sensitive to cost and a classifier that is not sensitive to cost. 0R, so far as this data is concerned, is not sensitive to cost. Decision table is sensitive because it can generate different and choose the best and use it and apply it. You can also, if you want, if you don't like the one that is chosen by default, you can actually force it to choose a particular one to gain the cost. You can force it to say, okay, this is the one I want you to use, and then look at the accuracy. You can do that. But in the case of 0R, you have no choice. There's only one, and that's the only one it uses. That's all. Okay? So when we are talking about cost sensitivity, this is what is actually boiled down to. You want a classifier that will generate a series of cost factors, and then have the ability to pick the best one and use it for either the training or the prediction or the testing. Okay? So that's the whole idea. That's one thing I want to show you. The next thing I want to show you is this one. I will depend on you to actually do it because I've already. Go back to this small window that you have on the Waker, click on Tools, and click on Package Manager. It will open another window for you. Click on Package Manager, okay? So it will go by default to Available. Now, on that list, you are going to look for something that resembles DL4MLC classifier. Something that I'm not sure whether that's the way that it's written, but it will resemble this. Look for it in the list and click it. It's a classification. It's a classifier. You see the list there. You scroll down. You look for it. I've already installed it on my computer, so you won't find it in my list. But it should be on your list because I know it's not already installed. If it is sorted, your left-hand side, you go to D. Left-hand side, you go to D. Starting from DMI, DMN, and there should be DL something somewhere. Can you find it? Yeah. Yes, that's it. Let me see. I don't know the name of it. Yes. No, not that. No, that's for distance. Okay. Wait, let me use your computer to start for you. When I find it, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah. I think it's further down. So that's Eden Markov model, which I have here. Or probably you can use it for deep something.
Yeah, there's a Waker deep learning 4J.
Yes, that's it. Let me see how it goes. Waker
Learning search.
4J. Okay, let me write it on the board. Waker Deep
Learning 4J.
Learning 4J. Okay? So look for that. Waker Deep Learning 4J. Click on it.
Go to package search, just type DL4.
Okay, yeah. This window here. This
Yeah.
window.
Just type
DL4.
What do you say?
Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. So when you click it, don't install it. It will display something here. I want you to read that first. Just click it. It will display the information. It should display the information for you. It will tell you provide classifier for deep learning, deep neural network. Okay? So that's it. So now you can install it. You can click install.
But there are different versions. We have 1.5, 1.
No, just once you install it, will install the relevant version for you. Just click install.
How do you
Okay, in the window here, once you click it, the install will come up. You'll be able to click install. Okay, click install. It will take some time to install.
There's this thing with internet. Problem with internet.
It's installing. It will take some time to install.
My computer's not connected.
All those
Yeah. Now, there are others may not be there. To get the rest, you need to install R. When you install R, you map it to Weka, you put in the rest. And when you install Python, okay, something, it also imports. Yeah. Oh no, how to install R is not just download it. Once you install R, dealing with text processing, look at this. CNN, Convolution Neural Network. Okay? So you click that open, and it allows you to choose between two iterators that you can use for CNN. CNN Text Embedding Instance Iterator. You remember we talked about word embedding. Are you with me? Word embedding. There's also sentence embedding. Now, in Weka, you can choose text embedding. It will work for word embedding or sentence embedding or even paragraph embedding. So, text embedding iterator. So, when you now send in your file, your input file, the first thing that the neural network will do is to apply this iterator in order to convert that into the vectors. Hello? Embedding. So, okay? And you can choose text file embedding instance also. Assuming you have, you are dealing with text processing, you want to compare, you know, in Microsoft Word, you can compare two documents to see whether they are similar or there's something. So you can, if you are doing that in other big network, you can actually choose iterator that allows you to take text file embedding, which means it's not just about word or sentence or something, it's a whole document comparing to another one. Now, when you are doing translation, you also choose text file embedding. One language is like a text file, another language is another text file, okay? So those are the iterator, and there are so many things you can do actually, okay? In terms of all this iterator. That's for the iterator. I'll show you another thing again. Excuse me. Oh, let me go back again. Sorry. I need to come back here again. Okay? Look at that. Early stopping. So you can choose different early stopping that you want. If I open that, it gives me, in this case I only have one, that is early stopping, but you can import more. When you install R package on your machine, you can actually install certain library function in R onto your Weka. They will automatically appear again. Okay? The same thing, your Python, you can install some packages. If you check where we check packages, there are some R packages there which you can install into your Weka, and it will give you more options in terms of the type of early stopping that you can have. In this case, we have only one, okay, that you can choose from. Okay, there's something again I want to show you. Sorry, I have a small screen here. Which, let's go back to that. If your data that you load are loaded onto Weka, allow you to be able to perform certain things, when you go to network configuration, network configuration, and you open, you choose there, you can actually choose RNN, CNN, and so many things. As it is now, the data that we loaded, Iris, doesn't allow us to do that. So if I open it, I won't see RNN there because it has nothing to do with language. So you can see it's not there. So it won't allow me to, because I cannot apply RNN to the data that I open. I can only apply a single neural network configuration, which is a feed forward. That's the only thing I can apply. But if the data I loaded allow me to be able to do RNN or CNN or anything, we will have them here listed and you can choose which one you want to use. Okay? That's another thing you can do with this deep learning. Okay. Any question? No. There's only one thing left, but some people are tired. You already have the slide. The slide I actually gave you 2 weeks ago. Some of the principles. Because you can see even installing the algorithm for deep learning is taking forever to do. Just imagine you are using that algorithm for training. Okay? It takes days, weeks. Okay? Now, so you want to be able to do something to speed it up. So one of the things that you can do is what we call early stopping. You see, when we open that window on Waker, we can choose different types of early stopping. So we can use early stopping. And how is this done? You see, when you are doing training over time, depending on the number of people, okay? Now, the study is such that there will be a point here in the graph that is the minimum in terms of average loss compared to the rest. So what it happens is that those filter or function that has already been pre-calibrated for you behave and try to find that point, which is the minimum. And finding that point is that when the training is done and that point is reached, the training stop. That's what we call early stopping. The training stop. Okay? That's one way of speeding up the process. Another way of speeding up the process is what we call just dropout. Okay? Dropout here is simple. You have a set of data. Assuming you have 1 million records of data that you want to use for your training. You determine what percentage of that you can use effectively. And that will depend on the number of your hidden units. You know, in neural network, we say the hidden unit can be 22 or above, right? Okay? So, but when you now drop out, you apply dropout, you can actually reduce the number of hidden units, say from 22 back to 14 or to 10. And that, of course, speed up the process. So the process is called dropout. In Waker, you can set it. Everything you can set, which is called dropout. Then there's the last one. What's the name now? I'm looking for the name. There are 3 of them. The last one actually deals with data, whereby you partition the data into 3. You can find it. Let me just explain it, okay? When you have a set of data, you partition it into training and testing data. And then you take your training data, especially, and you can divide it into 3. You use 1/3 of the training data, first of all, to train the machine. Then the result of that training, you apply it on the next 30%, and then you stop there. So it speeds up the process, and you can go on. So those are the 3 ways of actually trying to speed up the process of evaluating and training your deep neural network. I think I will stop there for today. Yeah, I hope you learned something. Now, the next